I searched another question that is of pityriasis rubra pilaris that was also asked in NEET PG 2024, and I showed her all the images. She said that the palms and soles of this image was given similar to this image, and a whole body image was given where islands of sphering were shown similar to this image, but of not this person. Okay, the person was a different person. So NEET PG is not asking from popular journals and searchable things that you can get the searchable images. This is an important point. Like you were searching trombiculid mite, so you search trombiculid mite, first search image you have to see, the most classical original image of trombiculid mite you have to see, and the schematic diagram of trombiculid mite you have to see. If you see these three images from the internet, then 99% of the chances is that you would get the same image in your INICET exam. Make your mind open. This mind opening could only be done if you solve the GTs from 2 sources at least, and don't trust recall questions. Exciting news for all of you guys, because I have cracked from where the image based questions are asked. I've got the sources from where the image based questions of NEET PG, INICET and FMGE is being asked, and this no other institute tells you, no other influencer tells you, and no one has an information about it, because I am doing the patent research on that. So who am I to tell you that what I am saying is correct? So I am Dr. Mayukh Hazra. I secured AIR 29 in NEET PG 2023, currently doing my second year dermatology residency, but that doesn't imply that I am going to provide you the correct data. A topper may not be good at research or not being updated to the recent trends of NEET PG, INICET and FMG. So I am also a content reviewer at Reflex, so I know all the PYQs in depth and how the patterns are being changed, and I am also a NEET PG, FMG and INICET analyzer, and I am following the trends of all these exams through the reviews of my juniors. Like recall questions are not actually true. What was asked in the exam, it is not reflected. I have come to know by reviewing from my juniors and from my experience itself. So I decoded the source of all the image based questions of all the competitive exams related to the medical field. Now I am going to present it like a research article only. So background is that NEET PG and FMG is conducted by a body called NBE, and the INICET is being conducted by AIMS, mainly the AIMS Delhi itself. So I reviewed a total of 7 papers with the exam takers. Like NEET PG 2023 and INICET May 2023, I am the exam taker, so I know, and I have solved the recall questions of them also, and how much is the inaccuracy of the recall questions I know. NEET PG November 2023, my few batchmates gave, and I have taken the review from them. NEET PG 2024, INI June 2024, INI November 2024, I have taken the inputs from my own junior of my department, that is Dr. Disha, and I thank her for giving the inputs. And FMG July 2024, I have reviewed it from an external friend of my college. So the results that I have got, INICET. See, if I search an image of INICET, this question came in INICET May 2023, and the crux of the image was that everyone's image was loaded half. Okay, so half image load हुआ था, मतलब 1/4 of the image load हुआ था, पूरा image load नहीं हुआ था. Thus, everyone was in a confused state that whether this is a speckled pattern or whether this is an anti-centromeric pattern. So I came home and searched it and found that the thing that was half loaded, it was the images lower 1/3 of the section, and that time I was sure that it is an anti-centromeric, which I was saying. In recall questions, faculties were saying that it could be speckled also, but I searched the image and found out this, and that brought me the curiosity. Are all the questions of INICET given from the internet by searching in Chrome itself? Then like that, another example I am giving from INICET November 2023, where trombiculid mite was asked, that is scrub typhus vector, and an schematic image was given. So I searched trombiculid mite, and it was not in the top search. Okay, like this one was in the first search, that is a ResearchGate article, and this time they gave a schematic diagram and it was not in the top search. by scrolling down, I got that. And this is the image. This is the exact image that was given. And this was asked in Marrow GTs also, because Marrow GTs, they take the images from the internet itself, but not in their notes. Okay. Now coming to NEET PG, interesting finding. You will be surprised. So in my year, a schematic diagram of intraosseous root was asked. Then I searched it, intraosseous root schematic diagram, and at first I got like this kind of images, but none were classical. This is more or less close to that, but not classical. This is a child, and it is not showing a cannula. Okay, this image is showing a cannula, but it is not showing the flexed position. Then I changed that intraosseous root in the tibia. See, in human, in tibia, I searched by it, and this kind of images are coming. That is also not the actual one. The actual image I am showing you by drawing it. So it was like this, the patient's leg was flexed, and it was a schematic diagram. Okay, it was a schematic diagram, it was not an actual diagram. And here the tibia was also highlighted, and there a cannula was inserted. The knee was in flex position. And what is the route of administration? It is intraosseous, it is IV, and all other options were given. But it was a simple question, but I can find out from this that the question image was not given from the internet. From where the internet gets the images? It gets the images from the popular books, popular journals. So NEET PG is not asking questions from popular books and popular journals. Now, to confirm that NEET PG 2024, I reviewed completely, and I asked Dr. Disha, how was the image? Show me, how was the image? Okay. So in NEET PG 2024, a base of the skull image was given, and I asked her, was it schematic or was it an original? So at first I searched and I got a schematic also. So she said that it was a schematic image. It closely resembles this image, but not actually this image. There is a spectrum of schematic image also. That is, in one end realistic schematic images, one end very much simplified schematic images, and in between a thing in between them, that is somewhat realistic, somewhat more simplified. So this comes in between range of schematic. Then I again searched by giving base of skull schematic image, and I showed her all the images, but she said that these are not actually resembling. Most close resemblance, but not the actual image. Now again I searched another question, that is of pityriasis rubra pilaris, that was also asked in NEET PG 2024, and I showed her all the images. She said that the palms and soles of this image was given similar to this image, and a whole body image was given where islands of sphering were shown similar to this image, but of not this person. Okay, the person was a different person. So NEET PG is not asking from popular journals and searchable things, that you can get the searchable images. This is an important point. But one question was a classical image, that is of achalasia cardia, and that image was in the first search only. So only one image of NEET PG 2024 was of first search image. Coming to FMG, one image of tachynoir was given, but none of them were the classical searched images. Okay, so subscribe, because this finding is a great finding. And now we are moving to the conclusion. In conclusion, I can say that INICET gives classical images from the internet, and NB does not give classical images from the internet, and also not from the standard textbooks, because Pityriasis rubra pilaris I have reviewed from standard textbooks like Rooks and Bologna. I have searched all the standard journals and I couldn't get that image. So they are not giving from standard textbooks also, and standard research articles also. So maybe some unpopular books they are copying the image and giving. Maybe the doctors who are making the questions, they are giving their own clinical scenario images, or maybe some unpopular articles which are not that much searched, from there they are giving. So we can conclude that NB is a bit smarter than that of INICET exam takers. because INICET exam takers are giving the first searchable image most commonly. Now what is the strategy, what should be your strategy from this information तो मिल गया, पर तुमको क्या फायदा है? ओके तुम कैसे अपने स्ट्रैटेजी में अप्लाई कर सकते हो ताकि तुमको बेस्ट पॉसिबल रिजल्ट मिले एंड द बेस्ट यू कैन गेट. द स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर इमेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस ऑफ INICET इज that you have to search all the images of your main notes in Google. Okay, now what you should see, the first search, because I have shown you that from the first search images are being asked. The most classic one also you have to see among all the top ones, you have to see the most classical one. And as I said, the schematic diagrams are also being asked. So schematic diagram also you have to see which schematic diagram is present. Like you are searching trombiculid mite, so you search trombiculid mite, first search image you have to see, the most classical original image of trombiculid mite you have to see, and the schematic diagram of trombiculid mite you have to see. If you see these three images from the internet, then 99% of the chances is that you would get the same image in your INICET exam. And why you shouldn't see the images from your main notes? Because main notes go through the copyright issues that GTs don't go through. If you are giving GTs and the GTs are giving classical images, then the GT is good, you would have an idea of the classical images. But the thing with the main notes is that if they give the classical images from the research articles, then the research articles can give a copyright strike to them and their notes could be banned. That's why to stay safe, they give some non-classical images and copyright free images that are not classical. So you shouldn't study the image based questions from your notes for INICET. You should see the image, you should search the exact image and see the three types of images as I said. Now for NEET PG and FMGE, you shouldn't waste time searching that shayad maybe in the standard textbook the image could be there, like you are going through Robbins, that most influencers tells that go through Robbins because the images from the Robbins are asked, the images from Ganong are asked. So this is not the case. Okay, if you are a NEET PG aspirant, you are going through these books for the image based questions, then you are simply wasting your time. And if you are preparing for INICET and you are going through the images of these all classical textbooks, then also you are wasting your time because the image is available on the internet. All the standard textbook popular images are available on the internet. And INICET people, they don't struggle a lot, वो लोग ज़्यादा मेहनत नहीं करते. जो वाला पहला इमेज आता है वो वाला दे देते हैं, या फिर जो वाला क्लासिकल इमेज आता है या फिर जो वाला स्कीमेटिक में क्लासिकल इमेज आता है वो वाला ही उठा के दे देते हैं. तुम लोगों को मैंने एग्जामिनर का माइंड गेम्स बता दिया, एग्जामिनर के अंदर क्या चलता है ये वाला बता दिया. हाउ टू क्रैक देन इमेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस? That is, NEET PG has 4 to 5 lines STEM questions, and that STEM questions only gives you hint that what is the diagnosis. Without the image even you can crack 80% of the questions reading the STEM only. The image is given mostly to supplement the diagnosis or sometimes confuse you because you don't know the image and you made a diagnosis seeing the STEM. Then you are seeing that image, I don't know this image man, ये वाला ट्रॉम्बिकुलिड माइट का इमेज तो मैंने नहीं देखा है. Then you overthink and you don't mark the answer, or you mark the answer wrong. So NEET PG images are more of a bouncer. So NEET PG images are meant to make you confused. 80% of the questions that has a clinical stem, you can easily crack by the clinical stem. Now you should prevent the marrow bias, because what I see, all the toppers solve GTs from marrow and they trust only marrow but don't give GTs from any other source. And I am only the influencer who is vocal about this, that you should avoid the marrow bias by one GT plan that you should have is always marrow, because it has the maximum number of test takers. So the rank is very much predictive to that of the main exam. But what happens? Marrow has a certain source of images, so they would give the image from the same source, same image only they are going to give. Now, if you solve marrow GTs for a long period of time, then the same image would be given in a maybe GT1, and the same image would be given in the GT number 10, and the same image would be given in GT number 15. Question framework may be a bit different, but in GT number 10, you are sure about the diagnosis and you would make the diagnosis. in GT number 15 you would make the diagnosis. Now think that in NEET PG you are given a non-classical image, then you are fumbled that what is the image, what is the image, because you don't have exposure and you don't have the training to think about that. So to prevent this kind of bias and this kind of thought blocking, you should solve GT from another source. That you can do any source. You need not to have the plan. Give the free GTs once a month from any other source. Good sources are like Prep. I had solved a doc tutorial GT live on YouTube, so you can go through that, and doc tutorials GT is also good, I would say. And what you should do is the correlation of the STEM question with that of image. Correlate the question with that of image, then you are about 90% sure that if you have the information, 90 to 100% sure that you are going to crack the diagnosis. Don't overthink that much, because non-classical images would be given. And make your mind open. This mind opening could only be done if you solve the GTs from two sources at least. And don't trust recall questions from this, as I have reviewed from my juniors, that don't trust the recall questions. They simply don't highlight what the actual question asked. Like this year NEET PG, most of the questions were 5 to 7 lines. Approximately 150 questions were 5 to 7 lines, and 50 to 60% questions had images. तो वो वाले images तुमको डायग्नोसिस में हेल्प करने के लिए नहीं थे, तुमको कंफ्यूज करने के लिए थे, और ताकि क्वेश्चंस को और ज़्यादा लंबा बना सके। एंड जैसे कि टाइम बाउंड सेशंस था, तो ताकि टाइम क्रंच और ज़्यादा हो जाए, इसीलिए इस बार नीट पीजी में दिया गया था उतना सारा क्वेश्चंस, बिकॉज इन माय टाइम नीट पीजी इट वाज 25 to 30% of the questions were image based questions, but this time it was 50 to 60%, as I have got the review. So don't trust the recall questions, because the recall questions can only give you the buzzwords, like they recall from the students. So a student who is a topper or who is a normal student, he would see the buzzwords in those 5 to 7 lines of the clinical stems. So the questions are framed 1 to 2 lines, or the stems are completely being changed, because it is not possible to recall the actual stem. So don't trust the recall questions. Keep an open mind, solve GTs from two sources. And the thing I said, that INICET is going to give images from the most searched ones, so follow those. Now, as I have done a study, there is a limitation of the study also, that I have to follow more years of the questions to come to the accurate diagnosis from what is the exact source of NBE, what is the exact source of images of NBE, because still now I am not getting the exact source of NBE, because I have seen students gray also for the base of the skull, but that image was also not given. So I can't give you the idea what is the source. Those are unpopular sources and it is not possible to find. Maybe in distant future when we can find, but not possible now. And I have a bit of less data regarding FMG, because I don't have contacts that much directly with that of FMG students. So if you are an FMG student who has cracked FMG from 2024 onwards, then you can message your rank and give a brief introduction about you in my Instagram. The link is given in the description box below, and that would give more data regarding the FMG, and we can see what is the pattern of FMG. And the person who has the best insights, I would call for a video, maybe an Instagram live, and would post on the YouTube channel also. So kindly text me if you are free. And जाते जाते एक क्वेश्चन कर देता हूँ, that is, what is the immunofluorescence pattern seen? So answer in the comment section below, and I would try to give heart reacts to those who have given the correct answer. And now you can see two videos popping up, that is the changing patterns of NEET PG and NEET PG strategy. So go watch them now and share this video with all your friends, but not an examiner, because वो लोग अगर ये वाला वीडियो देख लिए तो वो लोग अपना स्ट्रैटेजी चेंज कर देंगे. So take care, all the best.